Let's bring in House Ways and Means Committee Chair Jason Smith. Sir, you're leading the inquiry into the Bidens. Can you just spell it out for us? What are they alleged to have done?
Well, let's just start out. The two IRS whistleblowers that came before the House Ways and Means Committee last year, they released over 1,500 pages of documents showing the influence peddling that was being sold all over the world in multiple countries, from Russia to Ukraine to China. And where we stand today is we've seen an administration that has continued to obstruct our investigation, and even to the sense that you saw James Biden and Hunter Biden lie to Congress. For example, one of the first messages, Stuart, that we ever released was the WhatsApp message that was between Hunter Biden and a Chinese business associate that basically was trying to shake him down for $5 million, saying that he was seated next to his father. We asked Hunter Biden about that message directly under oath, February 28th. And he said it was another Zhao. Well, guess what? The IRS whistleblowers provided additional evidence showing 3 months of continuous messages to that same Zhao, which was the Chinese business associate. Therefore, Hunter Biden, lying under oath, should be criminally prosecuted for that. Let's hope that the Biden administration will treat anyone with the last name Biden the same way they do Trump.
Now, there's been some criticism as if this is some kind of a tit for tat operation. I mean, Biden goes after Trump, puts him in court, gets a guilty verdict. So you go after Biden and call him, indict some of his family members. Is it tit for tat?
Absolutely not. The only person and the only party that has been politically targeting through the Justice Department their opponent is Joe Biden and the Democrats. That's exactly what they have been doing to President Trump. The IRS whistleblowers came forward and said that Hunter Biden should be charged for multiple tax crimes. But guess what? The Biden Justice Department just slapped him on the wrist until the IRS whistleblowers came forward, and then that case was thrown out. And then you finally saw real prosecution and charges being brought in California. I hope the Justice Department will make sure that they honor what they have done with other people who have lied to Congress and bring those criminal charges.
Congressman, Donald Trump suggests that he could prosecute his political rivals if he's elected president again. Roll tape.
Look, when this election is over, based on what they've done, I would have every right to go after them. And it's easy because it's Joe Biden.
Congressman, would you support retribution? Because that's what Donald Trump is talking about, retribution.
Stuart, Donald Trump is not talking about retribution. Donald Trump is talking about every American standing as an equal justice system. What we have seen is if your last name is Biden, you're treated much more favorably than any other American. That is what he's talking about. The fact that Hunter Biden lied to Congress, and if the Biden Justice Department does not bring prosecution over the next 6 months, absolutely, the Trump Justice Department should do it, because it is a felony to lie to Congress. And just because it's the president's son and the president's brother, they should not be immune.
Does it bother you that many people in the country don't want it? They don't want an endless investigation. They're done with that for the past 8 years.
Well, what I hear from people all over the country is they're concerned with the $30+ million that have flown into the Biden family of their influence peddling scheme. They're concerned about President, at that time, Vice President Biden withholding money to the Ukrainians because he wanted a prosecutor fired that was investigating the CEO of Burisma, which his son Hunter received millions of dollars serving on the board of Burisma. Let me tell you, it all smells awful and the American people aren't having it.
Congressman, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks for being here today. I know we'll see you soon. Thank you, sir.